Hello everyone, another medium Clues by Sam day. I hope you guys are doing good. If you're new to Clues by Sam and you've never played before, of course there are 20 people. They are either criminals or innocents. The criminals don't lie, there's no guessing, it's pure logic. And I'm gonna be playing and explaining the logic as I solve, so if you need any help, then hopefully I can help you with what you're missing. And I'll try to explain why everything works as it works. That's what I do. So if you're in doubt, then first of all, try to play, click the link in the description, it's free, and then come and play along with me. Let's start. With Oscar telling us there are exactly 2 instances to the left of Sia. So there's 2 people to the left of Sia, and I know my lefts and rights, and this is the left, and those 2 have to be incense, so Vicky and Wanda both are incense, and we dismiss Oscar's clue by clicking on it because there's nothing else we can take from that clue. But we get 2 new ones. Vicky says that exactly 2 of the 6 instances neighboring Sue, where's Sue? Here. We double click Vicky's clue, so because it's mentioning Sue, then Sue's name pops up here. It kind of becomes a little brighter, and then we can see that she's right here, and there's 6 instances neighboring her, and 2 of those 6 are in column B. So one of them is Wanda because Sue herself is in column B, and Wanda and Kevin both neighbor her in column B as well, so Kevin has to be the second innocent. But that clue also tells us that there's another 4, or in this case 3, because we already know about Vicky as well, innocents neighboring Sue. So we're gonna leave that clue there to remind us of that. Wanda then says that only one of the 2 instances above her is Austin's neighbor. So Austin is here on the top of column A, and to his right in column B, there are 2 people neighboring him who are also above Wanda, Barb, and Gus. So only one of them is gonna be an innocent. So we tag them with the yellow tag, both of them, to indicate that they are a pair of opposites. So that means that whenever one yellow becomes an innocent, the other yellow becomes a criminal. And we now know there's a total of 2 innocents above Wanda, and Kevin is already one of them. The second one is going to be in this pair we just tagged. So Sue here, who is not any of those, has to be a criminal. And then we don't need Wanda's clue because the tags are telling us the information we need. Sue says then that only one of the 3 instances neighboring Kevin is above Vicky. So Kevin has 3 people who are neighboring him and above Vicky: Frank, Jerry, and Pam. So if only one of them is going to be an innocent, let's consider that, first of all. And Kevin has to have 3 instances. We know that Sue has to have 3 more instances, right, neighboring her, but they could all be in column C. So we actually don't know who's the single instant neighboring Kevin here. But Kevin gives us a clue as well. Sia is one of 2 instances below Hall, so Sia is an instant. There's another 2 people below Hall, Megan and Tina. All of them are in column C that I just mentioned, neighboring Sue. So if there's only 2 people here who are instants below Hall, and one of them is Sia, then that makes Megan and Tina here a pair of opposites as well, because only one of them is going to be an innocent. Now, Sue needs 6 innocents total, and we know currently about 5, right? The 3 here in row 5 that neighbor her, Kevin, and 5th one here in column C. Sue still needs 1 more innocent neighboring her, so it's either going to be Jerry or Pam. So now we are sure that the single innocent above Vicky who neighbors Kevin is shared with Sue, and it's either Jerry or Pam. So that makes Frank a criminal. Thanks for my memory there, that I didn't read the clue again, but I don't need Vicky's clue anymore now because I have tagged all of her neighbors, and I don't need Kevin's because I have tagged everybody below Hall, and I don't need Sue's. Now, Sia says there's only 1 innocent in row 1. We're gonna keep that in mind and read Frank's clue. There are more criminals in column A than column B. We know the total criminals in column B, even though we haven't yet revealed them all. We know about Sue, and we're going to have a second one here. So the total criminals in column B is 2. There has to be more than that in column A. And so far there's 2 because we have Frank and either Jerry or Pam. So we need the third one, and there's only Austin left, who could be a criminal. Now Frank's clue is not needed anymore. Austin says only one of the 3 incidents neighboring Clyde is to the right of him. So Clyde has 5 neighbors total. 3 of them are going to be incidents according to Austin. And only one of those 3 incidents are going to be in row 1. So it's either Barb or Dana, the 2 people in row 1 that neighbor Clyde. And now we go back to Cia's clue, telling us there's 1 incident in row 1. So now we know that that incident is neighboring Clyde, so that means that it's not Clyde himself. Almost clicked innocent there. We don't need Cia's clue anymore. And we don't need Austin's. Oh, we do need Austin's because we know that Clyde has to have 2 more incidents here in row 2. Oh, Clyde gives us a new clue. There are 9 incidents on the edges total. So there's 14 people on the edges. If 9 of them are going to be incidents, we need 5 criminals, right? So far we have 3. We have Clyde, Austin, and Frank. And 2 more who are going to be here in row 1 and here in column A. So that's our 5 criminals. That makes Uma and Ziad both innocents, and Igor as well, because none of them are on those pairs that I mentioned that would have 1 criminal in them for sure. So now we don't need Clyde's clue anymore. Now, that's 1 more innocent neighbor for Clyde, which makes the 3rd innocent neighbor that Clyde has to have either Gus, ran out of colors, pink, lower pink. Either Gus or Hall are going to be the 3rd innocent neighbor for Clyde, and it's not mandatory, but it's good to tag people when you get that information because it might make it easier for you in the future when you sort of do a little chain here. It doesn't matter where you start. You know how it solves itself just by looking at the tag. So it's good to tag them. Igor then says that only 1 row has exactly 3 criminals. Talking about rows here. So it's going to be row 1. We know there's going to be a total 3 in that row, which means we couldn't have 3 in row 4. But if we don't know that Pam and Tina are both innocents or opposites, because if both of them are innocents, row 3 doesn't have 3 criminals, so it's free of Igor's clue, and it doesn't affect any of the other clues. So I'm not sure about that yet. Ziad gives us a clue as well. There's an odd number of instances neighboring Frank. So where's Frank? Frank is right here, A2, and Frank has so far 1 instant, but he's gonna get a second one in column B because there's a pair of opposites that neighbors him there. So only 1 more instant in column B. That's a total 2, which is an even number. So that means that Frank needs a 3rd innocent, who has to be Jerry here, not in column B. And now that Jerry becomes an innocent because the other pink top person was Pam, she becomes a criminal. Since we know that row 4 couldn't end up with 3 criminals, that makes Tina have to be an innocent, and she's opposite with Megan, who becomes a criminal. Tina gives us a new clue. Only 1 column has exactly 2 criminals, and we know that's column B. So we couldn't have column C end up with 2. That makes Hall have to be a 3rd criminal in column C. And that makes Gus an innocent, which makes Barb a criminal, and that makes Dana an innocent. That's the little chain I talked about because of the tags. I didn't have to stop and look for other clues to see if I had something else that would point to them. And that was 9 minutes of solving. Very nice. I'm usually never on the quick times anymore because I do spend a lot of time explaining the logic, which I'm here to do. That's my whole thing. So I'm not really worried about not getting fast times. If I do it on my own, I'm sure I can get them, but I hope you guys can understand what I explain and follow along. If I'm still talking too fast, you can let me know. Or if you still have questions, don't understand some of the logic that I explained, you can also let me know and ask questions in the comments. Or if you have deeper questions, discussions that you want to make, maybe some of the clues don't make sense, maybe some of the rules could be improved on, better explained, then you can join our Discord server where we can talk about those topics. It's all in the description. And I'll leave you guys here for today. I'll see you tomorrow for more Clues by Sam. Bye bye.